Dragon Ball, horror, kaiju, and more. Steven Story Reviews.
Hey there, collectors, it's Steven here, and welcome to another Vinyl Kaiju review, where today we're going to be taking a look at Mondo's Biollante, or Biollante. Yeah, very fun kaiju, actually one of my favorites. Tip my hand here, and quite frankly, I love a kaiju line where we can get Biollante. If it's got Biollante, I love it. Anyway, we have one of multiple variants here that is going to be the focus of the review, and that is going to be the Godzilla vs. Biollante variant. Very original. So without further ado, we're going to take a look to see whether or not this big lug is going to be worth adding to your collection, and the answer is going to be yes. However, watch on. Alright, so Biollante, for the sculpt, there's going to be several paint variants. We're going to cover that closer to the end of this review. But for the sculpt on this one, even for all the variants, is actually rather nice. A bit stylized, but that's the point of the line. The details, though, are still really, really nice, and they're rather intricate. So regardless of the paint variant that you go with, you are going to be able to appreciate the details, because we do have some variations, at least on this one, for the different vine textures, because if we take a look, let's say, at the top of Biollante, we have sort of the leafy texture, but the vines do run over. And then when we do have the base of Biollante, the vines do run into the ground and they sort of disperse out into the ground-like sculpt, sort of like the root base, which is great. We do have some thicker vines on the tentacle-like vines, if you will, with the mouths that Biollante has 4 of, that are all in different poses. We have 2 on the front, which are sort of lurching out like Biollante is attacking, and then we have 2 in the back with 1 open and 1 closed mouth. As well, Biollante has a few thorns here and there, which are blended in rather well with the sculpt. They're not too pointy. They are rather rounded, so not really a big safety hazard. And then when we talk about paint for this one in particular, I do think that it looks rather nice and rather close to the prototype. Paint blending and so forth is good, though I will note that there is no shading or variation whatsoever for the eye in and of itself. However, there is going to be a lot of airbrushing when it comes to black here to really help bring out some of the finer details. Like, for an example, on the top of Biollante, where we would have what would effectively Godzilla's dorsal plates, keep in mind she's pretty much half Godzilla, we do have some spray where in the dips of Godzilla's dorsal plates would be, and then we have the ridges, which are green. For Biollante's mouths, we do have the base of the teeth and the tusks and so forth, which the gums, one may say, do have black, and they then transition out to the sort of bone coloration at the tips of the teeth. For the inside of the mouth, the main mouth of Biollante, we do have all small little pointy teeth. However, it's around this area where we notice if we look up close and personal, we may have a few paint scratches and some bleeding of the paint here and there. For the core of Biollante, the abdomen, the paint, it's fine, not really a big issue. It looks like here they attempted to do a wash of black instead of the airbrushing, which is okay, not really a big deal, but would have been really cool is if they used translucent plastic. We're going to come back to this point a little later, instead of just the normal vinyl that they used here. For the base of Biollante as well, it's going to be a nice brown paint application, including the underside, which is sculpted with a Mondo stamp as well, and actually they applied paint to the bottom of the base, even though Biollante is basically never going to show her bottom side. So overall, there are a few quality control issues here or there, which will obviously vary unit to unit, but nevertheless, she does look good, especially for this particular variant. Now let's go ahead and take a look at articulation, which all of the tentacles, the vines, whatever you would prefer to call them, they swivel at the base where they're attached. Now the 2 front ones, they do actually have a rather nice range of movement. They can either be directly in front or they can sort of be off to the side of Biollante. And then the mouths on all of the tentacles, they do swivel as well. Behind 2 basically kind of rotate, pivot just a little bit. Since they are swivels, they can technically swivel all the way around. However, you don't want to stress the vinyl and cause any breakages. The hind 2 basically just swivel, jitter back and forth a bit. Now, you're probably wondering, Steven, what about these other paint variants? Well, I'm glad that you asked because we do have the very interesting Midnight Bloom variant, which stock photo is here on the screen. We have blues and purples and golds. Sadly, I missed this one. There was talks of possibly me getting this one, but unfortunately that fell through. We do have the Energy Spore variant, which looks like a translucent vinyl version of Biollante, which hubba, this is great as well. And then interestingly, we have a Corrosive Sap variant, which was a surprise drop from Mondo that sort of hit, and very neat. I actually like this one. It's a nice metallic green, similar to the Midnight Bloom. And then we have the Cherry Blossom Glow-in-the-Dark variant. It was noted as an SDCC exclusive. However, it shipped well after that. So not quite. Now, here is actually a 360 spin view because I do have this one. And I got this one. The box was completely destroyed. And this is what I'm going to critique on this product. Now, the box is not necessarily the product. However, the box is rather nice. It's actually one of Mondo's posters for Godzilla vs. Biollante in a wraparound format. Mondo shipped these out similar to the way they did their big 12-inch Pulgasari, wherein they just put the box in a brown box with no packaging or padding to it. So if the shipping company decides they're going to stomp on it and destroy the box, nearly damaging the product, GG's. Anyway, Cherry Blossom Glow-in-the-Dark variant. Here you go. Here's how it looks when it glows in the dark. It's actually rather weak, and I really had to take multiple pictures after exposing Biollante to a ton of light over a few hours. So, size comparison time. So here you go. Here's how big Biollante is going to be. She actually does blend in well with D for Reals, I would say. So if you are looking to maybe have this as a supplement, I would say that's going to be rather nice. But otherwise, for the Mondo Godzilla 84, which is the only Godzilla they've done so far, she's a little too small in terms of where her head's at, and he's way too big. But speaking of that, you're going to notice that there is a lack of the D for Real Biollante here, but not BioGoji. I wonder why. Buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. MSRP on these was $125, then we have shipping and handling. It came out to about $150. Aftermarket, well, price will vary. If you're watching it now, you can grab one of these for about $225. A year from now, who knows, maybe $300. Now, I'm going to assume ceteris paribus. In the research world, that means all things otherwise considered equal. And considering that the Cherry Blossom variant is in its own right just as nice as the Godzilla vs. Biollante variant, for the others that I do not have possession of, I'm going to assume and give my stamp of approval that they're just as nice as the ones that I have. So, if you're thinking about getting the Mondo Biollante, 2 thumbs up. Now, how does it compare to the D for Real? Why don't you come back Friday and we'll take a look. Hey collectors, that's going to wrap up the video today. And as always, thanks for watching, commenting, sharing, subbing. It all helps. I always enjoy responding to comments, so be sure to drop one down below and I will respond if I can. I do have supporters on Patreon as well, and each review gets an end card to show who is supporting each month, so here are the end cards. Camera batteries, SD cards, even hard drives. It's not possible without that support, so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Here's the final end card, so this way you can click subscribe, check out another video, or even check out the social media outlets. You know you want to. Before we end today, as in the description, there may be paid ad space, affiliate links, or product samples that were sent out in this video, so please check out the STR ad disclosure. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.